Hello and welcome back. In today's video, we'll be attempting to solve the mystery of why was Raven Cameron, Mythic Dawn cult recruiter, supposedly found in the waterfront district early in the game? And, more importantly, what was he doing there? This perplexing question is first posed in the quest Untaxing the Poor, and as such, we'll be first exploring the quest. To begin Untaxing the Poor, we return to the Garden of Dariloth and speak with Armand Christoph at midnight, once May the Best Thief Win has concluded, in which he greets.
Ah, our newest pickpocket.
Well, now that I'm officially part of the Thieves Guild, what types of jobs do you have going?
Jobs? We're thieves, not masons or scribes. Look, you're on your own as a thief. Go find a likely-looking house, case the joint to see when the owner is gone. When he leaves, you break in and steal some stuff. You don't need special permission or orders to do that. However, you will find that you can only sell stolen property to one of our guild fences. Most other merchants won't take hot merchandise.
Wait, so we all work alone? So much for guild.
Well, sometimes the guild gets a special commission. You know, guaranteed pay to acquire certain items for special clients. You should check in with your doyen every once in a while to see if there are any commission jobs available.
Okay, but I need to fence some items first, right? Where can I find a fence?
The best fences are only available to the higher-rank Thieves Guild members. Here's a list of who you can use.
It just says Ongar, the fence. It's original.
Ongar lives in Bruma. He doesn't have much money, but he's the only place you can sell hot property if you are new to the Thieves Guild.
Nice. And what is a doyen again?
The doyen are the hands and eyes of the guildmaster. You take your orders from them, you get your favors from them. I am one doyen, and Skriva is the other.
So you do have special jobs. Any major heists we can get into?
You need more experience before I can use you on a commission job. Ongar tells me that you haven't turned in much loot yet. When you've contributed enough to the guild coffers by selling stolen items to Ongar, I might have something for you. Come back then. Shadow hide you.
Leaving the resident doyen, our quest updates reading. Armand told me that he won't have any commission jobs for me until I sell more stolen property to Ongar the Fence. I'll need about 50 more gold worth of stolen goods before he will trust me sufficiently. Congruently, we travel to the northern city of Bruma, where the gate guard sneers.
You're a sneaky-looking sort.
Heading to the nearby drinking establishment of Olav's Tap and Tack, we bump into none other than the tall, bleary-eyed Nord, Ongar, who openly greets.
I see you are with the Grey Fox. Do you need a fence?
Yes, look, where can I find a fence?
I can handle some types of stolen property. What you got?
Amazed, the Nord is so brazen doing business out in the open.
You got some hot property?
We put it down to cultural differences, plucking a single elven bow from our inventory that we happen to pinch from the blundering Bosma Methridel. We sell the bow to the fence, netting a tidy profit.
I'm glad that's done. I need a nap.
We then ask before leaving, what's life like up here in the frigid cold for a fence?
Bruma is a perfect town for a Nord man of leisure. Bracing mountain air, good food and drink, and lively Nord fellowship. Shadow hide you.
Our quest and updates. I've reached my goal. I've fenced over 50 gold worth of goods. I should go see Armand sometime. He might have something for me. Returning to Armand after midnight, he beckons.
I'm glad you stopped by. I have a situation that you might be able to help with.
I'm sure you've heard. We've made the theft quota for the special job you had going.
The Grey Fox has asked me to take care of a problem, and I'm putting you on it. Hieronymus Lex actually collected taxes from everyone living here on the waterfront. Your job is to recover those taxes. Are you up for it?
Taxes? This seems awfully noble for thieves.
The people of the waterfront are very poor. Traditionally, the city has not collected taxes from them, even though by law they could. The money the city would collect would barely cover the cost of collecting. The Gray Fox has always guaranteed protection to the poor of the waterfront. He doesn't want to let this injustice stand. It's a matter of principle.
Who is this Hieronymus Lex again? It sounds familiar.
He is a fool of a captain in the Imperial Watch. He's a real law and order type. He has a grudge against the Thieves Guild and the Gray Fox in particular. Lex has made it his personal mission to capture him.
Why does the Grey Fox even care?
Gray Fox has led our guild for over 300 years now. He has always guaranteed protection to the poor of the waterfront.
300 years? I thought you said he was a thief king, not an immortal. Guess if he's that powerful, he's not a bad sort to rub shoulders with. Sure, I'll do it.
Good. Find out where he's keeping the taxes and bring them to me. I'll also need the tax records of what each citizen paid so we can return it.
Yeah, before we go. Any other leads on the South Watchtower?
The best source of information are the beggars. Their eyes and ears seem to be everywhere. However, be prepared to spend a little coin. They won't tell you anything for free. At least not anything true. Shadow hide you.
Following Armand's instructions, we rouse the nearby pint-sized Ankus who begs.
One more coin, and I can get a pair of shoes.
Evening, Ankus. Would you happen to know where the guard Captain Hieronymus Lex keeps the tax records, perchance?
You're looking for him? Well, I might be able to help you. For a donation.
Donation? Something tells me that's going to be a little too rich for my blood for a paltry bit of information.
No problem. He has an office on the first floor of the Imperial Palace. Try there.
Oh, Imperial Palace, eh? Very cute. Armand said he's in the South Watchtower. How's 10 gold to tell me where the tax record is?
Sounds like food on the table. Lex has a small office in the South Watchtower, and most of the tower is open to the public. But not his quarters. Blessings of Julianus upon ye.
Our quest and updates reading. I learned Hieronymus Lex has an office in the South Watchtower. That's probably where he keeps the taxes and tax records. I should check it out. Entering the Temple Plaza district, a local guard questions.
What is it, citizen?
Realizing we stick out like a sore thumb, we change into a guard uniform we reappropriated earlier and duck into the southern guard tower by the far wall. Finding the first floor empty, we cautiously scale the ladder to the second off-limit floor. Although we're quickly made,
You're not supposed to be in here.
let's take a moment to appreciate the hypnotic effect of the lantern on the far wall bugging out.
This is your last warning. Get out or I'll arrest you.
Taking the warning seriously after the lantern has stopped, we then enter the ladder up 2 floors and into the sleeping Hieronymus Lex's locked private quarters. Once inside, we see we're alone with the guard captain and pause to admire his softer, less seen side as an avid painter, as well as harvesting the coveted nirnroot by his bed before resuming our search for the tax records, checking all manner of cupboard and container. Coming up empty-handed. And we even go so far as gingerly slipping our hand into Lex's breeches to find a silver claymore that he sleeps with and keys to the tower as well as a small amount of gold. But no record. Turning to leave, we see Lex's locked desk, and after breaking through the flimsy lock, find the tax records as well as the correlating gold taxed from the waterfront miscreants. Our journal then updates reading. I found the tax records. Now to get them back to Armand in the waterfront district. Once back on the safety of the street, we pause to have a brief glance to verify the ledger's contents. seeing the usual suspects appear on the ledger, but also a few strange discrepancies. The first is poor Hillod the Outlaw, having reportedly been thrashed by the guards for lack of funds. Second, Mavrina Arano, who was our initial contact for the guild, but was, for some reason, exempted from paying tax. Was this due to her dubious ties to the Aurum gang, being the surreptitious skooma distributors plaguing the waterfront, or some other unknown clemency she has been afforded?
People in the city, they get stuff and forget to pay. So I help them remember. You talk to them, lean on them a bit, and they remember right away.
It should be further noted that, bizarrely, one Raven Cameron also appears on the tax ledger. Despite his name's inclusion, Raven cannot be found in the waterfront district during the game. But who is Raven Cameron, and why does this matter? Well, let's first finish the quest by returning to Armand in the waterfront district with news of our success before delving into the mystery. Returning to Armand, he questions.
Have you recovered those taxes?
Yes, here they are.
Ah, the Grey Fox will be very pleased. We will make sure this gets back to the people. Can you believe that fool even bothered to collect this paltry sum? You can keep it. I merely wanted the watch to know they went too far. I think it's time to promote you to Footpad. Congratulations on your new guild rank. Shadow hide you.
Now officially a footpad and 50-odd gold richer, plus gaining 2 infamy for the quest, it should be noted our actions have garnered some notoriety, as after the quest, the latest Black Horse Courier will then read, "The poor burdened by taxes." A Black Horse Courier article regarding the taxation of city folk. Recently, Captain Hieronymus Lex of the Imperial Watch collected the taxes from all citizens in the waterfront district of the city. Although the laws are clear that all citizens of the Imperial City must pay taxes, it has been 53 years since anyone applied that law to the poor and destitute of the waterfront. Although members of the Watch approached by the courier declined to comment on the success of the venture. One of the watchmen, who asked not to be named, suggested that the operation was a complete, what's its name, starts with an F. Right. Complete fiasco is what it was. In a related story, miscreants have recently broken into the South Watchtower. An anonymous source reports that a small sum of money was stolen from the office of Hieronymus Lex. By a remarkable coincidence, the sum corresponds exactly to the taxes collected by Captain Lex from the waterfront. The ever-vigilant Captain Lex has renewed his call to capture the infamous thief, the Grey Fox. He's petitioning for a bounty to be put on the legendary Master Thief's head. Now that we've completed the quest, let's look at the mystery of the Mythic Dawn in the waterfront. Raven Cameron, of course, is the son of the main quest villain and Mythic Dawn leader, Mankar Cameron. Although the waterfront area is home to many undesirables and a port to enter the city, the Mythic Dawn cult, despite being quite prevalent across Cyrodiil cities, has no discernible presence in the waterfront district. Furthermore, the only 2 places during the main quest Raven is specifically found in-game is his father's realm, later known as Paradise, and earlier in the game as the chief recruiter for the Mythic Dawn agents in the sunken sewers neath the Elven Gardens district of the Imperial City. So why did he mysteriously appear in the waterfront, you ask? Well, as we've covered, there are no Mythic Dawn agents there, and congruently, no Oblivion Gate was opened in the area, which an agent must be present to open an Oblivion Gate under the cult's orders. So for a long time I thought this is just a wry reference, it's a wink and a nod to the main quest. But seeing as how Oblivion's writing is insanely interwoven, I began to explore different lines of thought and motives outside of Raven went for a stroll and was fined 2 septims by the city guards. So, let's see if you can agree with my conclusions. The first possibility is that Raven personally sought permission from the Thieves Guild to operate inside the sunken sewers, all the way over in the Elven Garden district. But why would he travel to the waterfront? Well, it just so happens the 3 houses that are connected to the sewers belong to NPCs that have ties with the Thieves Guild specifically. 2 being active members that have secret doors in their basement near the sunken sewers, which Raven and his lackeys no doubt operate from. However, I couldn't find any evidence of any double dealing between the homeowners and the cult per se. They weren't agents or had any Mythic Dawn commentaries on their person or in their homes, so it stands to reason there may have been an exchange for amnesty, which is not outside the scope of what a thief would do if offered some coin. I mean, it's hard enough for the Mythic Dawn to exist without the guards on their tails, so it'd make perfect sense Raven made a pact with one of the doyens down at the waterfront district and got snagged on his walk. However, if you've watched my video detailing the lives and schedules of every hidden Mythic Dawn sleeper agent in Oblivion, you know that the recruiters prey on mostly 2 types of people: the disenfranchised and the vulnerable.
Excuse me. I stay to myself. I've always found the wrong sort of friends. Now I do without. You too.
Congruently, we've made the discovery during the last quest, Made the Best Thief Win, that Amantius Electus was targeted for unknowingly breaking the Thieves Guild's tenets for killing the poor, as it was stated earlier in this quest.
The Grey Fox has always guaranteed protection to the poor of the waterfront. He doesn't want to let this injustice stand. It's a matter of principle.
The poor fall under the personal protection of the Grey Fox. If he's willing to protect the poor from a paltry 52 gold being taxed, imagine what he'd do if Mythic Dawn agents were trying to recruit them to their cult to be sacrificed to Mehrunes Dagon's cause. Hence why the waterfront remains suspiciously free of Oblivion gates during the main quest. This is why I believe Raven Cameron was unceremoniously ejected from the waterfront and forced to go underground, figuratively and literally because of his little sewer's lair. If he attempted to hide out in the waterfront or leverage its many disaffected peasants, he would be in for a rude awakening, as the Grey Fox would have the entire waterfront district turn on his operation and could have the Mythic Dawn investigated by the local guard in a heartbeat before their plans of turning Cyrodiil into another plane of Oblivion could come to fruition. Now, obviously the motives are strong, but that's a lot of hearsay and conjecture. But if you don't believe it's all connected in terms of the writing, stay tuned for the next episode as the Oblivion Gates, Thieves Guild, events of Morrowind, even Scoomatrade all come to a head. But I would love to know from you in the comments below why you think Raven Cameron got taxed in the waterfront district. Also, if you want to support the channel in a more personal way, consider subscribing and becoming a Patreon supporter. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, Traveller.